Will there be a lake of beer in heaven? Now, unless you're weird like me, you've probably never thought about that. You know, I grew up in a small Southern Baptist church, and we read our Bibles, we said our prayers, we went to church Sunday morning, Sunday night, and Wednesday night. I heard a lot of talk about a lake of fire, but never about a lake of beer. And preachers love to talk about the sins of the world, and when they run out of sins to talk about, they have to make up a few more. So someone a long time ago decided to add beer to the list. You know, never mind the fact that Jesus turned water into wine or that he was accused of being a drunk. Well, we won't mention that. It's easier to persuade people with fear. So a majority of the discussion of religion centers around the torments of hell and the problems with a life void of God. And I get that. It is important. But I don't think there's enough talk about the beauty of living a good life, a life that embraces friendship, family, and happiness, or about the virtues, prudence, justice, fortitude, temperance, faith, hope, charity. You know, religion isn't about what we shouldn't do, it's about what we should do. I had my first beer at 22 years old. I was in medical school. It was Guinness. Now, as a side note, I checked my genetic heritage, and I am Irish, so take that for what it's worth. Okay, but anyway, back to the story. There's this saint. Her name was Saint Bridget, and she's one of the patron saints of Ireland, along with Saint Patrick and some others. She lived somewhere between 450 and 520 AD, and she's famous for her charity and caring for the poor. It's said that when she was a child, she kept getting into trouble for giving away her dad's possessions to the poor. There's also this legend of her turning bath water into beer. And I like this one. It probably helped a lot of folks stay clean. And she's famous for this prayer, okay? And it's a prayer about heaven, about celebration, and about the end of suffering. It's about union with God and about a lake of beer. It goes like this. I should like a great lake of beer for the King of Kings. I should like the angels of heaven to be drinking it through time eternal. I should like excellent meats of belief and pure piety. I should like the men of heaven at my house. I should like barrels of peace at their disposal. I should like for them cellars of mercy. I should like cheerfulness to be their drinking. I should like Jesus to be there among them. I should like the three Marys of illustrious renown to be with us. I should like the people of heaven, the poor, to be gathered around from all parts. There are different versions of the prayer, and I really like this next one as well. But it feels more adapted to me than the first, and I don't know which one is the original or if any are original. You can decide which one you like the best and let me know. So here it is. I'd like to give a lake of beer to God. I'd love the heavenly host to be tippling there for all eternity. I'd love the men of heaven to live with me, to dance and sing. If they wanted, I'd put at their disposal vats of suffering. White cups of love I'd give them with a heart and a half. Sweet pitchers of mercy I'd offer to every man. I'd make heaven a cheerful spot because the happy heart is true. I'd make the men contented for their own sake. I'd like Jesus to love me too. I'd like the people of heaven to gather from all the parishes around. I'd give a special welcome to the women, the three Marys of great renown. I'd sit with the men, the women, and God there by the lake of beer. We'd be drinking good health forever, and every drop would be a prayer. So there you got it, my friends. I'm not the only one hoping for a lake of beer in heaven. I'm joined by at least one saint. Maybe someday I'll sit back, relax, and have a beer with some of my favorite saints. Joan of Arc, St. Jude, Thomas, David, John the Beloved, St. Nick, St. George, John the Baptist, just to name a few. And of course, you'll be there as well. And you'll have your glass raised high, and with a lopsided grin, we'll make a toast to St. Bridget And maybe the King of Kings will be there. And maybe the Holy Queen. And maybe we'll drink eternal from that lake of beer. And every drop will be a prayer. Well, a man can dream, can't he?